Alright, good evening everybody. Hello and welcome. Let me just check my audio. Good evening everybody. Okay, audio not great, not terrible. You may have noticed that what is on the screen is in fact not Dark Souls yet. Because I actually opened this up to a bit of a debate on our community Discord, and we'll call the results inconclusive. I got 1 vote for my starting class to be the thief, 1 for it to be the hunter, and 1 to have my starting items as the black firebombs. I had to think of the number there. The thing even. Oh, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, as the results are inconclusive, what I'm going to be doing, or what I have done, prepared for you on the screen right now, is I have a randomizer up, which is going to randomize the list that I have here. So I have all the classes listed here, and then I have all the starting gifts listed here. And this is just going to put them in a random order. So we're going to go for the topmost class and the topmost item. And whatever that is what we deal with. So let's go ahead and click randomize. Okay, so we're going to be a bandit with the black firebombs. It's right there. Bandit, black firebombs. That's what we're going to do. So there's our start. So let's quickly run a name generator, and we're going to be you done, which is what I'm going to say when I beat the game. Without further ado, I'll actually put Dark Souls on the screen now. I had this set and prepared a minute ago. So welcome. We're going to enter our character name. So we're going to be you done. Now, I think that sounds like a female name, so we're going to be female. We're going to be the bandit. And we're going to have the black firebombs. Let's see what we can choose here. I like how, just large head could be very intellectual. Good evening, Mr. Stab Toxic. How are you? I guess I'm just gonna pick Slim. Common's probably fine. Oh, the hair in this game is awful. So bad. Well, I actually quite like the braided, apart from it clips through the skin horribly. That looks awful. Thank you very much for Mr. Stab Toxic for the 10 bits. I will die once. I will absolutely die more than once. But we're gonna see how it goes. So we'll see how it is. I'm quite liking this this dark blue here, so I'm gonna go with that. What can we customize? What is that? Oh, it's just all of that shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother my ass with that. So yeah, so this is our start. So we're level 4. We've got 12 vitality, 8 attunement, 14 endurance, 14 strength, 9 dexterity, 11 resistance, 8 intelligence, and 10 faith. We're starting with an axe and the spider shield. We've got the bandit set, and we've got the black firebombs, and nothing else. And so we're starting our game with this character. This is the story of Ayadan.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity.
Hope you all are following this.
And cold.
Because the story
Life
is
and death.
not at all obvious, and I don't know it well enough to tell you what it is. So don't even bother. I'm just going to go ahead and say that if you want a story-based playthrough of this, go ahead and maybe watch somebody else that maybe knows more of that, and for the sake of that, I will be skipping cutscenes, because I don't know it well enough to say what's going on, and therefore I will not try and say what's going on.
The dark sign brands the undead.
Look at that guy on the left. He's had a bad day.
And in this land,
I always actually thought the guy on the right there was banging his head off the thing, but he's actually just kind of shaking at the bars there.
where they are locked away.
Thank you very much, Navigated Chaos, for hosting the stream tonight, along with our additional normal hosts. We also have Moto Kitten and Toasty Art also hosting the stream. Thank you very much.
Is your fate.
I appreciate it. Oh, there is us. There's A you done. Oh man, we do not look as good as when we created ourselves. Who's this guy? Let's find out at some point during the story, I'm sure. Welcome everyone to Dark Souls. I have a bit of a sword. I'm going to refamiliarize myself with the controls just a little bit. It's been a while. But I am pretty confident, I suppose, in my abilities, at least in this initial little area. There isn't really too much that can mess with me here. But just getting back into the vibes, getting back into the feels, making sure I know what all the buttons do. Only game I've been playing recently has been Wolfenstein, which is vastly different to this, and therefore I'm way off practice with this. This is the first bonfire. This is kind of how you progress through the game. You light bonfires, you get to places, you set them up, and you knock them down. Let's go through door number 1. So what you're meant to do, I'm going to just say this, because we have the black fire bombs, I'm going to do this. What you're meant to do is we're going to get swarmed by a boss in a second. You're meant to run through that door over there to the left and go and get your starting equipment and then come back and then fight him properly. But we have the black fire bombs, so I'm going to try and fight him with no equipment and the black fire bombs since I have them. Mistime the dodges. I'm going to mistime the dodges a lot. Hey, we win. Not with a lot of health left, but we win. So that's kind of how to really break the first boss in the game. And we get the demon's great hammer off of that, which we have absolutely no chance of wielding right now at all. because that will give us, honestly, about the same attack as what we're doing right now, because it requires like 40 odd strength to use, and I have nowhere near that. Oh no, it's an archer. Good thing I found my spider shield. I'm gonna go ahead and... That is the wrong slot to put that in. That's better. Is there anything else in this room? No. Kind of forgot what I was doing there. Yeah, run away, prick. And now we've got the battle axe. Which means we can actually fight now. Well, kind of. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a one-hit kill in these guys. Not what I expected from the starter equipment from this set. I've never started as the bandit before, ever. So, experiencing that for the first time. So that boulder rolls through a wall there and opens up something. I'm just going to open that in case we need to go back to the other bonfire. I don't know why we would need to go back there, but we shouldn't do. And this is Knight Oscar.
Regrettably, but there was an old thou and thy next when thou will now.
Well, that's a lot of talking.
Now I must be. I would hate to harm and thank.
So we can come back later and kill him. But yeah, we now have the Estus Flask, which is probably the most important item in the game. Last Dark Souls I even played was Dark Souls 2. Something died somewhere. Oh, it was him. It was him in the cage. I forgot. He dies in there. Yeah, we need to go and see him. Need the Estus Flask to progress. Kind of. Ah, bullshit. I got countered by the wall. An arrow in me tits. Come on then, if you think you're hard enough. So satisfying. Can we open this? No. I always forget what you can and can't do here. Yeah, so normally you would come up here and then you would plunge onto the boss from here. And that would kind of get him to half health, and that kind of gets you started, and then you would get the big Pilgrim's Key at that point and be able to leave. But we defeated the boss early and got a bonus item from it, although I think we foregoed getting the souls that he actually possesses. Not that there's a huge amount we can do with souls at this point in the game. It's like minuscule level ups and stuff. There's another boss underneath this floor here, which we can come back and fight later if we choose. The progression in the game's kind of a bit all over the place. It takes a bit of getting used to. But this should probably go without saying, by the way, this is absolutely one of my favourite games of all time. I really, really like Dark Souls. I have a lot of time for it, a lot of patience for it, really enjoy it. And really quickly, actually, we're going to use this humanity because this will come in handy in a minute. And we're going to go to the main portion of the game now. We're done with the tutorial.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated.
Don't want to skip this because this is cool.
One day an undead shall be chosen. The undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
So we get picked up by Big Macaw the Crow and transported to the main area of the game. So this is Firelight Shrine. We will be coming back here a lot. This bonfire will be our safe place a lot of the time. So we're going to offer our humanity and reverse the hollowing, which, as you can see, will turn us back into the lovely woman that we actually created at the start. Okay, so gonna go ahead and just be outright with it. I intend on going for a magic build at some point, so I'm gonna start leveling towards that now. Kind of as early as possible, just get started. You kind of end up wanting to do that. Hello, Ross. I ended up doing a bandit start. That was my randomized start, and I ended up with the black fire bombs to start. You missed a good bit where I beat the first boss before even getting my starter equipment. Just because I got the black fire bombs, so I've used them. And now I'm kind of at the point where I can kind of do whatever I want to do. So I'm going to be long term. I'm going to be running like a magic user of some description. Haven't quite figured out what kind of magic I want to use yet, but it's going to be something towards the magic persuasion. But for now, I've got my start here. I'm quite happy. Not particularly put off, at least at this point of the game. So, oh, is it double B? Yes, it is to jump. That will come in handy later. I need to remember which ones to do that. We've got our first soul. For those who don't know, I'll just show you what happens. That if you find a soul like that, you can crush it in your hands and you get some souls, which are basically currency for you to spend on whatever you want. Thank you very much, Navigated Chaos, for cheering 10 bits. I appreciate that you've put a gravestone. However, I have not died yet in a game that is about death. However, that run may not last particularly long. We have lots of bosses to go, and I'm still trying to remember where like decent items and stuff are. We can go down this way already, by the way, but the skeletons in this area will fuck me up real good and real quick, and I can't be bothered with that. So can I see... Oh, that does actually do a 100% physical reduction. That's not a bad shield to start with, actually. I don't think I've ever played with the spider shield, but it's not that bad. Let me just do a little bit more running around in Firelink. I think there's a couple items I can get if I remember rightly. There's some regular fire bombs, which actually, in fact, I'm going to swap out my black fire bombs for them right now, because the black fire bombs are way better and way more useful. Hopefully won't need to rely on item usage too much throughout the game. Look at Tubbs McGee here, by the way. I love his haircut as well, like proper full cut. Maybe worth noting, by the way, this is the Xbox One version. Well, this is the Xbox One Dark Souls Remastered version that I'm playing. So, for the most part, this is running at 60 FPS. I know it doesn't look like it, but it actually is running at 60 FPS. Come on then. Come on then if you think you're hard enough. Now these guys up here, they will, well, that guy at the very top, he will pelt me with fire bombs. I'm going to avoid him doing that, but I'm going to engage the ones that come for me first off. That's rude. And now I'm going to run up and deal with him. Do, and now I can go back down, deal with the guy at the bottom. Hello, sir. May I interest you in a fight? I see that I can. Very good. Another soul. Hello, sir. How are you? Off with you. And so there's an item over there which I can jump and get. However, I'm going to see how long the deathless nature of this can be. And therefore I'm not going to go for jumps that could just instantly kill me when I can play a little safer and just see how far I can get before I die. Because I am interested to see myself how far I can get before I die. Does also help, I have played this game before, I have played this game a lot, so a lot of these areas I'm going to be very familiar with already. There's only a few of them that I'm not super familiar with, and I may need to re-familiarise myself with when we get to them. For the most part, and don't worry, Navigated Chaos, I will go back and make the jump at some point. I just don't want to do it yet, because there's an awful lot of stuff that I want to try and do first. And again, want to see how long this deathless thing can go for. From my most recent experience of a Dark Souls, well, a FromSoft game anyway, I've been playing Sekiro, and therefore I am not familiar with how little damage the enemies do. At least in this starting portion of the game. Ross in the chat, ladies and gents. Bad timing. I will get used to the timing of this weapon swing. I don't think I've ever played with this weapon before, so it's a bit to get used to. Get off there. Come on then. Double kill. Oh. Can't help but agree with Chaos there, Ross. I think a chilled building stream would be quite a lot of fun, actually. Could get a lot of suggestions, people putting stuff in, have discussions with the group. It'd be good. More humanity. God, I'm going to be human as fuck after this. Hello, sir. My brother was an Italian plumber. There was an item that I could have gotten from down here that I didn't get. Which was in here. This is probably says something about butthole. No, it says try rear. Well, you know what? Can't disagree. Try rear. See what happens. It's all sealed off. You can go the long way around again. Man, this game seems slow. Did not mean to jump. Fog gates are your friend, folks. Apart from when they are your enemy. Oh, that is way sooner than I remember it being. Jesus Christ. So there's a jump that we can do here where we can get some additional items. But it's real finicky to do. It may be better if I unequip my weapons so that I can run a little faster. Fuck, the jump up again? Let's try again. Nah, not gonna get it. It's only a crossbow and stuff anyway. It's nothing life-changing, put it that way. There's a dragon, folks. We'll be dealing with that later on. Welcome to Dark Souls and all that. So there's a couple that I'm going to bait over to the stairs here, just so that I can deal with them. And I'm going to deal with Mr. Arrows separately. In fact, I'm actually going to go up and deal with him just now. Oh, it's in me butt. It's right in the top of me butt. Oh, that was faster than you normally fire. Nasty. Take a swig of that. Wooden shield. I think that is worse than what I actually start with. Yeah, it doesn't have the 100% physical reduction in damage, which is really useful in the early part of the game. So I'm going to stick with what I've got. Another bonfire, second bonfire of the game. We're actually going to come back to this one multiple times. I will just show you quickly. What happens when you're at a bonfire, however, is should you choose to rest at a bonfire, you do respawn all of the enemies in the area. So we have all of the mans that we had killed back to deal with. And that is the price you pay for taking a checkpoint, essentially. So we're not going to be, like, if there's bonfires that I can not rest at, we're going to be making sure we don't rest at them. Because I don't want to have to keep redoing enemies more than I have to. I was hoping that would make him drop his guard, but never mind. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Their spears have got a real long reach and I don't want to deal with them. For him. Now that this one's on his own, we can do my favourite technique of all, which is basically getting right in their face and circling around them constantly. Eventually he will attack. There he goes. And then we get behind him and do a backstab. Secret! And our first NPC of the game that we can talk to.
Now, you seem to then you I trade.
See what he sells again. I need the residence key at some point. Probably also want to pick up something in the region of a sword. I think we can pick up pretty much every starter item here. So if we started as depraved, then we would not be that. Oh, let me just catch up with the chat. Praising of the sun can start at any time. I'm always happy with people to praise the sun. However, the real answer to that is whenever we get that praise the sun emote, which, depending on how I play, we might not get. So I'm going to grab the residence key off of him. There's nothing else I really need or want more than that right now, so I'll acquire the rest of the weapons and equipment as I need them. It's got a real good swing on this axe. It's real handy for dispatching two foes at once. Well, if the community requires it, then I shall be praising the sun. I can't think if I ever actually played the game in a way where I got that emote in my Dark Souls play, so that could be interesting. But promise I'll look it up and I'll do it. Oh, throwing knives. They could come in very handy for us without magic right now. This might be a better place to make this jump from. Or it's going to hurt and it's going to be my first death of the game. Nope, it's all good. We made it. Barrels are my enemies and I will roll into them at any point given. Ooh, yes, it's round this way. There's the light crossbow and some standard bolts. That gives us a more viable ranged attack option right now. So this is going to happen a lot in this game, where you just loop around areas, pretty much on repeat. There's not a huge amount we can do right at the start here, so I'm just going to kind of be slowly moving through the initial areas. Some fire bombs there that if you don't dodge, they can really fuck you up. You're invincible in the backstab animation, and I will abuse that. Doesn't open from this side, that's right, my bad. Whoa, settle down up there. There's lots of moving about. Lots of moving about in our headphones. Ah, Dark Souls, lesson 1. Always hit the chest to make sure it's not a mimic. I can never remember which chests are and aren't, and therefore I will be double checking every single one. There's a secret man in here we're going to bait out. I think he actually does come for you if you leave the room and you haven't dealt with him. There are many men up here. Observe the many men that I have warned you of. Throwing knife. For the win. Oh, it's in him! I've played with so few of the ranged options apart from magic, I just really was not, sure whether or not that was actually a thing. Wow! Okay then. Settle down, Timothy. He dodged it. Fucking kudos, man. He got good. I'm gonna go up here and deal with these guys as well. Come on then, folks. Don't want to deal with that. Dodge that. We've gotten stuck in a bit of geometry. Not ideal. Let me just get fixed to that. One of them dropped down there, I think. One of them indeed did. So I'm used to playing with a little bit more ranged attack options to begin with, and therefore I'm taking the lack of a ranged option quite badly. So we'll see how that transpires as this playthrough progresses, but I am planning on going for magic, like I said. So at some point, I will have that to rely on. Let's go and deal with the boy that came down here. My right bumper didn't want to press there. One of their helmets. I'm kind of alright with how our armour is stacking up right now, so... I'll come up here and deal with you. Don't heal. If I could learn any medieval weapon martial art. It's a good question. I've always quite liked the look of a kind of cell sword, you know, the curved sword, the sort of swift movements and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I would do would be on the vibe for that, and I would use that to my advantage a lot. Favor dexterity over power. I don't play this game that way. Although I suppose I do a little bit. Oh, I got the spear. Interesting. Let's see how it stacks up. It does less damage, but it's much lighter. And therefore much quicker. I think I'm going to stick with the axe right now. I'm getting used to it. So I'm going to stick with it, and we're going to see how we go. Good lad. Couldn't get the backstab in. Oh, the longsword though. Gonna have to switch to that. Because, actually that's a lot less damage than I thought we would be doing. We're not missing too much, but it's significantly lighter, and I am way more used to this moveset. Potentially it's one of the best in the whole game, and it's a weapon you can get pretty much right from the start. Do I want to do the optional bad guy here? Yeah, I probably do. I mean, I can always try him. This could be first death of the game, so, you know. Don't know why he's facing that way. I'm going to see if I can sneak up on him. I was able to sneak up on him, but I did not get a great hit on him. Come on then. Let's have a fight. With the ability to 100% block his attacks, this is going to be manageable. I'm just going to need to wait for my window and go for the backstabs. Like so. Ah, there's the first death. First death of the game. Was trying too hard to be badass. And do you know what? I'm actually going to go back to my my axe. I was kind of preferring that over the longsword till I can get more. Till I can get more power benefits with a longsword. I'm not going to. Oh, this is a bad situation. It's okay. Nobody panic. Okay. Oh, that wasn't Estus Flask. That's a wasted knife. Okay. Come on. Oh, forgot about the guy in the tower. That was careless. And that does a lot of damage. Oh, Titanite Shard, very good. Good for upgrading weapons. So, as you can see, folks, dying does revert us back to the kind of zombioid form. Death doesn't carry a particularly significant weight. We go back to like a kind of zombie form, which means that we can't do certain actions like summoning phantoms, which help us in battle against certain bosses. And we also can't kindle bonfires, which increases how much Estus Flask we can use. The Estus Flask is pretty much your one reliable healing item, and it fills up every time you rest. He healed, but I stopped him. Yeah, so the kind of weight that it really carries is that if you got to a particularly difficult area, or you got really far and you can't get back to where you died before without dying again, you lose all of the souls and your humanity and everything else that you've collected up until that point. So you may have seen when I was dead initially there that we our souls counter at the bottom, which is currently 2,000 odd. It was reset to 0, so we have to go back to nothing. So we can't level up, we can't improve from where we were kind of taken away, if you like. And therefore you can't level up, you can't go back to the area you were just in. Again, you can't kindle bonfires, so you can't improve your Estus Flask supply. Now there is a boss behind this door. I'll tell you that right now. Spoilers. But I know a tricky little tactique for dealing with him. So we're going to go ahead and abuse this tactic to kill him. There's two lovely little gentlemen up here who are in fact not at all lovely, and who will interrupt me trying to do this. They'll also try and kill you if you're just down on the bridge, so would recommend killing them first. Can I not ladder slide? Yeah, I can. Okay. Taurus Demon, I summon you. There he is. Hey, buddy. If he does an overhead swing here, you can get pretty fucked. But thankfully, for the most part, he doesn't. So the technique involved here is essentially run down the far end of the bridge, bait him to you, dodge under him, run to the other end of the bridge, climb the ladder, and go over him. This game is kind of muscle memory for the most part. The more that you know the bosses, the easier a time that you will have with this. It's just how it works. To the point as well where you can just spend some time not even looking at the boss to know where he's going to be and what to deal with. Every action that any enemy does or any of the bosses do is completely telegraphed, and you can learn them over time. Think knowing the enemies in Sonic or Mario when you were younger. The enemies did exactly the same thing in these games, it's just that their actions were lesser and therefore easier to learn. But, how much does this do? Not bad. We could probably finish him off with that if we wanted. See if a firebomb does any good. Yeah, firebomb kills him. Second boss in the game done. Do we have a joy emote? Yes we do. Jump for joy, baby. And we got a homeward bone as well, which is a free way to return to the last bonfire that we rested at. Crates, I wish you right. Thank you very much. Guys, chat wanted it, and we've done it. This is Mr. Praise the Sun. Everybody, this is Night Solaire. He's pretty cool.
I am such now that I am.
He says lots of things. I think if I talk to him twice, he gives me something.
I have
I'll say yes.
the way up in a land. Well, not to, I was.
Oh, did I say no the second time?
Well,
Oops. I need to stop doing that.
oh, we are amidst the flow. The very there's no like use it to summon and engage, of course. But if you.
We can now engage in jolly cooperation, folks. We can officially summon other phantoms when we are human, and as a hollow, as we are now, we can use this item, which will leave a summon sign for somebody else to summon me to their world. And for us to gain some humanity and some souls. There is the sun, everyone. Please praise it. I cannot praise the sun, I can merely point to the sun. Do not have the emote yet. I know what you're thinking. This looks like a dangerous bridge. And you'd be right. Not because of the enemies that are on it. Oh yeah, that's a dragon. We're just gonna go ahead and come down here, because we ain't dealing with him right now. We are, however, going to open a shortcut to the other bonfire. And we're going to level up a little bit because we have a lot of souls at the moment, so we can do quite a bit here. Let's get that up. Oh man, did I spend all them already? Okay, that's not important right now. That's probably more important, and let's do one level in that. Okay, another thing that I'm going to do right now while we can is... oh, we have a lot of souls that we could use to gain a couple more levels. But let's use another humanity. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the humanities to reverse my hollowing. That makes me human. And now I'm going to use the other humanity to kindle this flame so that I get 10 Estus flask charges, God I can't speak, from this bonfire, which will come in handy as we go. I am now going to use all of these soul items that we've collected. And we're going to see if that allows us at least another level up. Yes, it will allow us one. And now we'll continue on. Now's about the time that I start wondering... The longsword's still not better than my axe, so I'm just going to keep the axe for a bit. So we're going to stay under the bridge to avoid Mr. Dragonface. We don't want to be dealing with him just yet. Kind of because I have no way to deal with him. But I will deal with him, or have to deal with him at some point. Come on in. He's got a spear. He has the advantage on this, on the slippy slopes here. I'm going to see if I can kick him over the edge. Bye. A lot of rats in here. Be warned. horrible, vile enemies in this game, and they're just sometimes so numerous and so difficult to deal with. But thankfully we've not done too bad for them at the moment. So there is a Black Knight I can fight by going up the top. So many things that we can get if we can get in here, but that requires us crossing the bridge, and like I said, I don't want to do that just yet. But I will do it at some point. For now we're gonna well, we've been going for 15 minutes, so I'm gonna try and deal with the enemies that are in this area. We've got Big Bull Man to deal with. We've got some of his lackeys and a couple of arrow boys. This is not a particularly easy fight, nor an easy area for someone that doesn't have any ranged attacks. So I'm not sure how I want to play it. I don't even know if it is possible for us to kill the bull. At least, perhaps not very easily. So I'm just kind of wanting to bait enemies one at a time here as much as I can, and then sort of deal with them as and when I need. So I'm trying to get this guy to come into the archway here so that I can fight him separately. And I did close the gate up there, which is it's not important. I would have went the long way around anyway. You keep saying sword skills like I have a sword. I have an axe, man. Not even a sword. That's bad. A little heal up. I actually have an Estus Flask that doesn't heal me all the way at this point in the game. That's crazy. Come on then. I'm not confident, big boy, about how much damage I can do to you with me axe. 5 measly damage from a throwing knife. And really don't think the axe is going to do much more than that, to be honest. Do we have any other smaller enemies to kill before we try and deal with Mr. Bull? Kind of lost count. How much does a firebomb do to you, I wonder? Not much. That you actually have a lot less health than I thought. Oh, there was another man kicking about. I knew it. It's so totally a bore. Yeah, it's a bore. I mistimed the distance of that. It's all good, we still killed him anyway. Yeah, it's so totally a bore, so I'm just gonna roll here, and I'm gonna... I was hoping that would kind of bait him up the stairs and not into me, but okay. Let's just dodge him for a bit. Excuse me, sir. I do 7 I'm not fighting him. I do 7 damage with my axe. It's going to be impossible. It's impossible to do that. Let's get out of here. We'll come back for the boar later. Come back, you heathen. Aha, more friends. The astute among you may have noticed that my my axe is doing a little less damage to these guys. and also they can do more damage and take more damage from me, and that just continues to be the case as we go through the game. Even the basic enemies just get more and more dangerous as we go. Still one hit them with a heavy attack, but it's not always the easiest one to land. We got the mystery key. What could it open? Hello, boyos. I was actually able to get a hit that staggered us there. I'm gonna just kind of parkour out and get this item from the rafters here. I don't remember what the item is. It's just a soul. Nothing too significant. But yet important all the same. What does this say? Fog wall ahead. Yep, you're not wrong. So this brings us out above all of the men's and the boar. But again, we're going to kind of avoid him right now. We are going to try and fight Monsieur Knight down here, though. I may have to drag him back into the room with the tables. I'm going to see if I can get a backstab by walking behind him. Not sneaking, just walking behind him. Just going to kind of be a bit of a pain in the ass and beat him to death before he can do anything about it. Oh, we just got the rapier. Now, I do like a rapier. Can we use it? Yes, we can. Does significantly less damage, though. And I think the Night Shield is worth us changing to. No, it's not, actually. It's kind of worse in every way. Every way that it can be possible to be worse. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not going to change to the rapier. I'm not going to lie, I still kind of want to break out the longsword for at some point. It's very useful. It does have a good critical rate in the rapier, though. If we can get, you can get the backstab with this. You can do some damage with it. Going to try and show that off right here. Unlike our, we can swing this more times than our axe. 160 damage from that one attack there. Yeah, we can swing this more times than our axe. It can be flung with a few times, but like I say, it doesn't do as much damage. The longsword, in my personal opinion, is really where it's at in this game. Like the longsword is actually one of the best and most versatile items that you can use in the game. So we've got another Rapier Knight guy here, who I'm going to drag into this room because we've got a bit more space to fight him. See, 160 versus 95 on a backstab. We also can't hit through their defense like we could with the axe. I'm going to need a little respite. He should follow me down the stairs. Oh, he's healing as well. Naughty boy. Catch. What is that enemy doing? He literally just turned around right in front of me. Another Titanite shard. Another useful one, a Balder shield. Is that better than what I am using? I will compare shields a lot. Better stability, better lightning defense, still full physical defense. Not so good for magic and fire. What we're coming up against soon is a little bit magic, a little bit fire. Spoilers. So we're not going to switch. Let me think. What way do I want to do this? Well, let's go this way first. Got some nice boys here to deal with. For those unfamiliar with the game, the combat system is pretty much perfect for a one-on-one fight. The combat system is not great for literally anything more than a one-on-one fight. And this game just loves to throw more than one enemy at a time at you. It's kind of how they get you. Weapon selection is totally down to personal preference. Mostly I go by moveset rather than damage. Because a quicker or more versatile moveset, way more useful than just dealing more damage. I'm coming up for another bonfire that I'm going to want to kindle because it is a really useful bonfire to have kindled later in the game. For those who are unfamiliar, by the way, one of the objectives is to go up there and stop that bell tower ringing, but I'm not going to do that just yet. We have a few other things that we need to do first. But I will be going and dealing with it shortly. That was, right there, was actually another player in the game playing right as we're playing right now. And that was where they were. Okay, so we've kindled the bonfire. And I'm going to go downstairs and speak to Andre. There's another NPC that we will come back to an awful lot. We're going to learn a gesture. We've learned hurrah. Does he... sell anything super significant? I don't think so. Is the broadsword better? It's about the same, moveset wise, probably not really. The war pick is an interesting one to play with, actually. But I'm not going to be playing with that. I am going to reinforce the longsword, however. We can get that up a little bit, and all of that should repair in time. I don't need anything else, so what does my longsword... Oops, removed it by mistake. What does my longsword level up with? Strength and or dexterity. So I shall level up strength. So we're going to do significantly more damage with this longsword now. It's going to start to become my main weapon. Now that we've got that bonfire as our checkpoint and that we've got it kindled, I may go and try and fight the gargoyles on top of the tower. That's kind of our next boss that we have to get to, so I might try for it. I don't know how well I'll do, but can only try. Enemy in here as well that I'm going to want to kill. I'm going to drag him outside so I've got more space to fight him. There's a lot of summon signs cutting about. There's a lot of people playing this game. Did not think there would be that many people playing Dark Souls 1. Right, that's our last firebomb. Just kind of hoping... Yeah, okay. I was hoping that would kite that, but I did not see it coming so quick. Is he backstabbable? I can't remember. Don't think he is. It's one of the few enemies outside of bosses in the game that you can kill and they don't respawn when you reset a bonfire. Come Come over here a bit. I need some space to kill you. Yeah, that'll do. All about patience. And not getting greedy. Another Titanite shard. Which actually means we can go and upgrade this sword again. Oh, that's... Yayit is absolutely a thing, but Rickard here is actually just an NPC that we can summon in the game, and he looks cool as fuck. I'm absolutely going to summon him. It's going to help us. There's a Firekeeper soul that comes in very handy throughout the game. Whatever this person's name is, we're not allowed to see it. I thought I asked to summon Rickard. Okay, so for the fight with the gargoyles, I probably do want the black fire bombs, so I'm going to pop them back on. There he is, boys. It's Rickard and his rapier. Right, that right there shows you what you can do with some real good rapier skills. You get good at the rapier and you can just kind of cut through most enemies. He might actually just kind of storm through all these guys right here. Where'd the man go? Oh, he's downstairs now. Would be good to go and kill him. So we will. Ah, we were too late to the party. Rickard got him. He was worth a lot of souls. I'm going to be very disappointed if I die at the gargoyles, because I've got a lot of souls right now. That's like 2 levels up. And some improvement on my longsword again. A good move up here. Having some jolly cooperation right now, guys. Get humanity from that. This boy knows where it's at.
Then, as you can... Thank you. I truly... Yes, I've just been...
So he will give us something later on. If I'm honest, can't remember what the something is that he gives us. I'm honestly shocked at how many people are actually playing this game right now. Genuinely thought that it wouldn't be particularly busy. But nevertheless, plan for finishing up is to fight the gargoyles and get them dealt with, and then we're going to kind of get ourselves in a kind of good starting position for where we're going to be next time. And then we will go from there. So I'm going to grab this other summon, which happens to be, you guessed it, baby, praise the sun, it's Knight's Lair. I'm going to switch my main one to the hurrah that we got. Praise the sun, there we go! Stream. Alright boys, it's time for the gargoyles. Gargoyles is not an enjoyable fight. But I'm going to try and get the gargoyle tail axe out of this one as well, which involves doing him... this involves trying to do enough damage to one of the gargoyles' tails. So here we go, guys. It's a bell gargoyle. Knight Slayer just tried to throw some lightning and missed. And missed terribly. That one didn't. Oh no, it missed. It still missed. It's getting pounded and surrounded, baby. Second bell gargoyle has entered the fight. You got the tail axe. You got it. That's what we wanted from that. Okay, that's one down. I think we actually just got another gargoyle tail axe, which is awesome. And we have beaten the bell gargoyles. For how awful of a fight that normally is, that went very well. And we're going to go ahead and climb up. Look at the amount of souls we've got. And we're going to climb up here. And we are going to ring that bell. I actually realise now that I said it wrong earlier on. You ring the bell here, and every time you hear the bell ring, it's a real-life player actually completing like that. So the fact that we've just rung it means that it's going to ring in everybody else's game that's playing right now as well, which is very cool. Very good, like, little weird sort of extra world building thing that they did there. Yep, so that's the first Bell of Awakening, which is kind of the first half of the first quest really done, which is good. It's we're going good. Things I still need and want to do is get better armor, upgrade my equipment a bit more. I want a better shield. Hey, buddy.
Greetings. I am Oswald. No pianist. So that cometh out to confess.
Do I need any of that? I don't think so.
Thou art welcome anytime.
Bye. Yeah, my character full-on has tetanus right now. Gonna need a tetanus shot. So yeah, we are not dexterous enough to use the gargoyle tail axe. It's very heavy, but it's pretty decent as weapons go. We may use it in future. I may just stick with a longsword. Longsword is versatile. And in this game, more than anything else, you want to be able to fight lots of different styles of enemies. You can be very good at fighting particular enemies with particular playstyles, and not so much with different enemies depending on your playstyle. I don't have to kill these two, but I really want to try. That's not good, forgot he was a thing. But it is all good. This ragdoll is stuck on me. It's very distracting. Come on then, boy. Someone else has rung the bell. Something else that we can do right now that I'm going to showcase but not really do anything about is we can... Oh, the halberd. Now that's a good weapon. Very versatile. Very good. Like it a lot. The basement key, very useful. And something else we can do right now is kill that guy. He stays dead unless you come from the other way again. And we can open that up, and that's a back passage to the bull. Should we... or boar, sorry. I called it bull so many times, didn't I? But it's actually a boar. And that is, again, something that we will look to tackle later on, because the boar is a pain in the ass. And is not necessary right now. And, something that I do want to do is show off this. This, for the first time I ever played this game, blew my fucking mind, because I felt like I was just progressing forwards pretty much constantly. And then you ride that elevator down, and you come back to Firelink Shrine. You come back to the first area in the game. See you soon, Chaos.
But I also want you here. No.
We have a copper coin from Fatso McGee.
Oh, somebody, you'll never. Well, don't stop now.
So he's evil as fuck. Don't like him. And here's this guy.
Ah, I have you, Ring. I am grateful. Not enough. Our futures are mine.
So he's a murky one. But I will give her the Firekeeper soul that we got. Ah, that's very, very handy. Well, enjoy the vets, all the same. So we've reinforced the Estus Flask, which means that it now heals us more when we use it, which is very, very handy indeed. I'm going to kindle... Oh, yeah, that's right. Can't do that until later on. So let's just level up a bit. Pump that up a bit. All going to be useful as we go forward. I'm trying to think what else we can do. So yeah, so now the Estus Flask heals us a little more, because as we go through the game we level up, we get more health. We obviously will take more damage as well. And being able to heal more is very important. So I'm glad that we got that Firekeeper soul early. Managed to do it. You want the good old +7 brand is what you want. I think at this point +1's probably enough to heal us completely. I'm interested to see if no, Summony Screechy Boy is not back. He does not come back from the dead. That slight slow-mo and the sound effect of the backstab are my favourite things in this game. So satisfying to land it. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of part one of this done. I'm just coming back to visit Andre because we can upgrade our longsword again. A little bit, at least. In fact, actually, how many souls can we get from this? 1,000's pretty good, and I'm pretty sure we had more things to use. $200 odd. Not bad. That'll allow me to upgrade my longsword another time.
Well, you need any.
Because I have enough Titanite shards for it. I'm also going to buy the ability to reinforce weapons at the bonfire, which will come in very handy as we go forward. I may also do some grinding and just save up for the other smith boxes as well, because that's very handy to be able to do that at a bonfire instead of having to come back here, especially before we can fast travel, because that is a real pain in the ass. Before we can fast travel, everything takes ages. We have to manually move everywhere. Let me think what the next thing that I could do in the game is. Okay, got an idea. Gonna go and just do a couple of other little things before I finish up tonight. Don't like sitting and playing this game for super long periods of time, because when you get tired, you lose your focus. You lose your focus, you get real annoyed real quick with this game. And that is not, it's just not a good state to play this game in. Ross is online, for those who are wondering. He exists outside of the streams. He does many things, so I might actually use a homeward bone to go down there and get those items. Or I might save that for later on, actually. But for just now, I'm going to rest back at this bonfire. I think this was the last one we rested at anyway, but I'm just going to double check. Ooh, nasty. Got all these guys to fight again, but we will have a much easier time with them as we are a higher level. We are actually one-shotting all these guys, which is nice. I like to try and get to the point in the game where I'm one or two shotting most enemies, so to be at the point where I'm one-shotting the kind of original enemies, not bad, not too bad at all. I really want to try this jump to get that item that's over there. I mean, if I die, I die. I can come back and get my souls, right? Oh, how much do we need for a level up? Does it tell me in this? No. I don't think it does. We've got a Ring of Sacrifice, which is I think it's actually our first ring that we've gotten. Yeah, it is. So what we can do is we can wear that, and instead of losing souls and shit when we die, we just have the ring break and then we need to fix it. It's kind of like playing the game on easy mode, because you can just abuse the fact that you can stay human and not lose your souls and humanity and whatever else not. And you can just abuse that a lot. We're kind of going to look back around areas that we've already done, because it's kind of the only way to get around some areas that we've already been to again. But but we will be able to go through this area much quicker. Plus we also don't need to fight everybody, but I do need to go and speak to the dude down there again. Ow! $197 damage, boys. Hello. How are you? I need one of you to attack or do anything at all. That'll do. I couldn't even get to him that time. Got a bit bullshitted by the wall, but I managed to kill him with a backstab anyway. That'll do me. How did somebody get over there? I'm just seeing where one of the soap sign things is written. I don't think I've ever seen anybody's sign over there. It's awesome. Probably the thing I like most about in this game is just seeing where people have gotten to and like trying to figure out how the fuck.
Go ahead, never hurts.
Right, what I want from you is... That's more expensive here. That was only 2,000 at the other guy. I am positive it was. In which case, do I want anything else that you're selling? No, I don't think I do. Okay. So I didn't need to come and speak to him. Oh well. That's not the biggest loss in the world. Keep mistiming with the swings. And though I'm really glad of all the enemies to mistime swings on, it's just the low level enemies that can't kill me in one hit. Later on that will be more significant. Well, I must say I have actually enjoyed rolling the bandit. You get a decent shield to start with. That axe was actually pretty good to get started off with, so I'm happy about that. Double kill. Couldn't do that again if I tried. I do want to just look around this area again because there is some other stuff that I can do here. Stupid wall physics. Oh yeah, I forgot you come just down the stairs now that that fire was out of the way. It's close. Okay, let's try our luck again with this guy. Because there's a pathway down here that I want to go down next, but I kind of want the item that this guy's guarding. Once again, I'm going to try and kite him up to the top here so that I've got a bit more of an arena to fight him in. Start this from the best possible point, so yes, that's better. Better damage we can do to him now as well. Significantly improve us trying to actually kill him. And there we go. Oh, you get a Titanite chunk for defeating him? Fucking hell. I didn't think I would get one of them this early in the game, but I'm alright with it. So, I guess one of the other options you could do is run him all the way up there and then sprint back down here and grab the item. But yes, we have the blue Tearstone ring now, which, as you can see, it boosts defense when HP is low. So right now, I'm going to put that on because I don't have any other rings. So I'm going to just go with that. And next thing we're going to do is come down this way. Oh, actually, nope, I am wrong. That is not the way that we are going right now. There is a key that I need to use somewhere, and I can't remember exactly what it is. I need to use the basement key for where I'm going next. I can't remember where I use it. Ooh, that's really bad. I'm drawing a blank. Okay, that's fine. We'll just mosey around this area for a bit. Jog my memory somewhere. Hello, boy. Much easier to use, yeah, because I want the basement key to get like down that way and then get into there. Where do I use the basement key again? Because this opens from the other side once I'm in there. Basement key, basement key, basement key. I will remember, or maybe I will just Google it quickly so that we can do that. Far face of the Great Bridge in the Undead Burg. Is that the one that's down here? Bear with. Have forgotten where to use said key. We'll find and we'll get back on track ASAP. That doesn't open from this side, so it's not that one. Far face of the Bridge in the Undead Burg. Well, this is the Undead Burg up here, is it not? Is it something to do with down there? Can't remember. Drawing another blank. Oh yeah, on that bridge. Right, sorry. I had to quickly look up a little image. I got all confused, turned round. A lot of things to remember in this game, a lot of things to get in the right order. Or at least sort of in the right order. So, Lower Undead Burg. That's where we be going next. Aye. Stop throwing firebombs at me. I wish I had the unlimited supply of firebombs that those guys did. I mean, I guess if you grind up enough souls, you could probably just save them up. Guess it wouldn't take that long. I'm going to do a bit of a run round here. I'm just going to check that it's not this door. I'm pretty sure this is just an open from the other side. No, it's locked. I remember what key I need for that one. That's the watchtower basement key, if I remember rightly. I'm just going to come up here. Cross this bridge again. Are those guys back up there? Yeah, they are. They're going to shoot at me, but their aim is pretty awful. Could not remember if those guys respawned because they're inside the boss arena, and sometimes the case is they don't respawn if the boss has minions. According to it, yes, this is where we need to go. Yes, okay. I'm on track. Back on track. I've remembered where I'm going, kind of. And that's a lot of tetanus. Okay, so... yeah, this is the shortcut that I wanted to open. Here we go, boys. And there we go. Okay. That's kind of the last thing I wanted to do. Lower Undead Burg's a whole other thing. We can start getting our magic down there. We can start attuning spells. We can start to be a wizard, Harry. I'm going to finish by leveling up. We have 1 point that we can actually level up. We're already level 22. I'm going to put it in... strength. Just going to keep building strength for just now. It's kind of good for adding up how much stuff that I can do. So anyway, guys, so as that I don't burn myself out too quick on the game, we're gonna end right here. I want to thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to start this kind of random and not how I would normally start it. I'm going to continue this soon and build my character towards more what I want to do. There's a link to our community Discord in the chat, and we hope to see you there. I believe Ross is planning on being Streamy Boy on Thursday, and we shall also be back with a group stream at the weekend. So thank you very much, and good evening. I will see you next time.